time to kill rabbits. Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine here on Happy Cool and welcome to a new review for Banshee. This week's episode was called Homecoming. Let's talk about it. First, some quick thoughts. In the opening titles, and in case you don't know, the opening titles change every week. The picture next to Ivana Milicevich's name was a woman wearing a rabbit head with a gun in her hand. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking it probably means that she's about to go kill rabbits, which we kind of saw in the episode. But I thought it was a cool imagery, especially knowing what was coming in the episode and what's coming probably next week, so I enjoy that. Clay strikes again. Emmett might not have killed the Nazi guy, but Proctor sure did. Karma. Speaking of Emmett, I was right. He has quit and is moving to Florida, which is kind of sad because I wanted him to stick around. I am curious in terms of who's gonna replace him now though. As for Brock, he's still in league with Gordon. I thought Hood and him had like a moment. What happened with that? Speaking of Brock, I love that moment when he's sitting in Hood's chair in his office smoking like a cigarette or cigar or something. And then Hood walks in and it's like, oh, obviously I did not expect you. When did Brock become the funny guy? Because he's really funny lately. And in shocking moments of the week, Carrie told Gordon that Hood's Dava's father. Yeah, talk about a shock for Gordon. I did not expect her to tell him that soon. And also, now I'm wondering if Gordon's gonna use that to find out who Hood is or just kind of work with Brock with that information. I'm a little worried. And now let's move on to Proctor. Rebecca saved Juliet. It was interesting because she gave up Juliet, but she still helped her get out, so go Rebecca. Also, we found out that she feels a bit trapped, which leads me to wonder whether she will team up with Alex to bring Proctor down. She's a bit ambiguous about this whole thing. At this point, I think she's pretty much just looking out for her own self-interests. I mean, even Clay is like, I don't trust you, so it'll be interesting to see how that whole thing evolves and what her master plan is. And finally, the most emotional scene was probably the scene between Kai and his mother. Who ever expected to see Proctor cry? It was a really good moment. I thought it was interesting that the person that really touched him the most was his mother, who apologized for not being there for him. And it's like, inside of us all, we just want to be loved and accepted, and that's what he wanted, and that's what his mom pretty much apologized to him, which is like, that's the one thing I guess that could really touch him more than anything else. And I was like, that's a good moment. That's yeah, right there. And finally, let's talk about the rabbit hunt. First, Joe. Have we ever seen him fight before? I couldn't remember if we had ever seen him fight, but I was like, he's a badass too. He can definitely like to kick some ass, so go Joe. And as he's kind of fighting his way out of the church, I literally screamed, oh my God, and jumped when he was hit by the car because I did not see that coming. Wow, that was crazy. What an image. I was like, oh. And the shootout in the hospital. So badass. Oh my God. I mean, that scene where Carrie and that priest kind of cross each other and then they both turn at the same time and start shooting each other. Oh, that was so cool. Oh my God. And best line of the episode goes to Job, of course, when he asks Carrie, are there any members of your family who aren't homicidal maniacs? Good question. And that leads us to the finale. Next week. Yep. Can you believe it's almost the end of the season? That's crazy. Well, if this episode is anything to go by, next week will be all about bringing Rabbit down for good. I'm thinking we should be ready for the show to end on a crazy cliffhanger or on a crazy something. So yeah, hold on tight. So those are all my thoughts for this week. I think we're leading into an intense finale. I'm gonna be holding on tight and try not to freak out. Kind of excited, kind of sad that it's over, but I'm ready. But until then, let me know what you thought of this episode. And of course, make sure to subscribe to Happy Cool if you haven't yet so you don't miss my last Banshee review and other reviews or videos we put on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! As a side note, if you want to learn more about Hood and sort of who he is and his past, or get some more information on that and why we don't know his name, you should definitely watch the Banshee Origins, the interrogation of when he gets arrested. That reveals a whole lot. I wish they had put that in the show because it's so good. So we found out a little bit more about possibly what kind of past he has, also why we don't know his name. Yeah, you should check it out. I'll put the links in the description.